Good evening, everyone, once again, and welcome to another class. I hope we all enjoyed our week and we are ready to learn today. Please, if you just on the chat, tell me how your week went with your favorite emoji. I just want to get your reaction before we get started. Okay. Okay, that's really nice. Nice. That means our week went well. And thank God it's Friday. That's really nice. Okay. Um, last class we said about understanding. Okay, we are happy. Yeah, having a wonderful week. That's really nice. Okay. And in our last class, we said about understanding the empathy stage. So by carrying out a whole lot of research, we also talked about the research method, where we talked about interview, survey, usability study, primary and secondary data, and so on and so forth. So last class, we just started the empathy stage and we talked about different methods on how to carry out research and different research that we can carry out. Please, can anyone tell me, just one or two persons, just tell me the 5 stages of design thinking process. If you can remember, just raise up your hand and tell me the 5 stages. All right, Antonia, you're on mute. Go ahead. Okay, you can hear me. Sunday, can I meet your mic and answer?
Okay, sorry,
good
ma.
evening.
Sunday, I can
Can
hear
I go
you. Go
ahead?
ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The design thinking process is broken down into 5. We have the empathy stage, we have the define stage, we have the ideate stage, prototype, and the last one is the test stage.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So today we'll be looking at the second stage, which is a define stage. The define stage is an important part of design thinking process. It helps in the definition of meaningful and actionable problem statements. This stage is going to be very challenging, like it is the most challenging aspect of the 5 stages of design thinking process. At this stage, you'll be able to synthesize, analyze all the data that we have gathered through the research process. That's from what we handled in our last class. So we're going to be analyzing all the observation information that we have gathered, pinpoints about our users from the research stage or the empathy stage. So what do I mean by synthesizing and analyzing data? Synthesis is all about breaking complex problem into smaller and easy to understand problems. During your research, you will gather a whole lot of data and information. That is why it's always good for you to document it. And when you are done documenting, researching and interviewing your participants, your potential users, at this stage now you have to start analyzing them by breaking them down into smaller problems so that it's easy for you to understand and work with. Synthesizing, on the other hand, involves creatively piecing these ideas to form a whole. Creatively piecing these problems to form a whole idea. Like you have to session each of the problem according to similarity. You're going to be analyzing and synthesizing these problems. So we can also say design system helps in organization and interpretation of ideas or data to create what we call problem statements. In the define stage, we're going to be carrying out a whole lot of activities. So we should just get our feed jam ready because we're going to be using the feed jam to do some of these activities. We're going to understand what empathy mapping is, what user persona is, what user story, competitive analysis, feature prioritization, information architecture, and problem statements. I believe that I've mentioned what these things maybe from our last class, but if you don't really understand it, you get to understand what each of them mean and how you can create your own activity using FeedJam by the end of today's class. So empathy means putting yourself in your user's shoes to understand what your users are passing through. So empathy map is an easy to understand chart that explain everything you have learned about your user from your research. We have it's a quadrant, a 4-square quadrant that represents what your user says, thinks, feels, and does. We have 2 types of empathy maps, where we have one user empathy map and aggregated empathy map. We're going to also look at what each of them stand for and how you can represent the data that you have gathered, whether by using one user empathy map or aggregated user empathy map at the end of today's class. One user empathy map is where you record feedback from a single user. In a scenario where you interview 20 people, each user with 20 potential users, a potential target audience, each user will have one empathy map dedicated to them. Aggregated empathy map is a map that consolidates feedback from group of users. So you have to put all your users' response from what they say, think, does, and feel on one map. So this is what one user empathy maps looks like. So you have a quadrant, it's 4 square. You have says on the left top side. Then you have does on the bottom left square. Then you have think on the right square. Then you top right square. Then you have feels on the bottom right square. So one empathy map is used to record feedback from one single user. So for the same quadrants, let's say that you are researching about a food delivery app. So let me say you interview Juliet, and Juliet says that she wishes to get her food delivered on time. So on this sales quadrant, if you can see my cursor, this is where you're going to put what Juliet says about a food delivery app. So on the does quadrant, this is where you record the action and behaviors your users share in their response, or even physical action during your interview. Still focusing on a food delivery app, your user might say he or she orders for food, especially when he's home alone. So you can write that in your DOS square. Then you have think. And the think quadrant is not necessarily what the user says to you. It can be what the user is thinking. That's why it's very good to pay attention, to be observant when you're interviewing your participants, so that you'll be able to understand what they are passing through. So he or she can tell you, can actually be a positive response. Even they say and does can either be a positive response or a negative response. But then the response, I think that urging for food can be very frustrating. You understand? Then you have feels. On the field square, you are expected to write what your user feels. So here, this is why it's always very important to ask your users open-ended questions. to be able to like understand what they are feeling. So you can ask them question like, how do you feel ordering for food with your mobile app? Then you'll be able to like understand their frustration and also their pain points. Most of them can feel disappointed, excited. Then we have aggregated empathy map. Like I said earlier, it's a representation of everything you found out about your entire user or a group of users with similar problem or pain points. So here, if you interview 10 people, we are going to like write the 10 things that they say about something on the say quadrants. They are also going to like write all the things they do in the do quadrant, the does quadrant here. They're also going to write all the things they think in the does quadrant and also what they feel in the feel quadrant. So for example, buying a TV. So he or she can say, I was expecting something different. I want something reliable. So this person actually interviewed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 participants, and he placed everything that they said on the same quadrant. So then on the think quadrant, everything that they say about buying a TV was placed on the think quadrant. Everything they do was placed on the do quadrant, and feel too. Okay. Does anyone have any question before we move forward? Any question? Okay, Vincent.
All right, good evening, ma. Hello, good evening, ma. Can you hear me from there?
I can hear you.
Okay, please, this slide is not, but can you open it small? I can't see what is written here.
Okay.
Okay, just zoom it a little.
Any other questions? What you just want to open? I can ask a question. Sorry.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Yeah, in the empathy map, I'm seeing like 2 shades of color, 3 shades. Can a user say more than one thing on a particular product and also have more than one feeling on a particular product? Like if you see the say quadrant, you have one deep green. At the think side, you have 2 deep green. Maybe a user said 2 different things about a particular product. So because you said you interviewed 6 users that said at the left-hand side. So I'm thinking maybe one user can say more than one or think more than one thing in a particular product.
So anything a user say, you place it on one sticky note. You can, even the user say 10 things about that particular product, it's just one thing that he or she said. You understand? So this is a scenario where you interviewed 6 people. So this is what the first person said. I was expecting something different. He thinks, why is this so hard? Does maybe he checks his web in order for him to like buy TV. He feels overwhelmed buying TV. Does that answer your question?
Somehow I was thinking maybe use a different color to indicate the different user that has asked or said or feels.
No, you don't necessarily use. For organization, it's better to use the same color, but just know that I just say you're just analyzing your data. Depending on how you are able to analyze your data. If you want to use different colors of sticky note, but just bear in mind that this one is representing 6 different users. What they said, do, think, and feel about buying a TV. Then here you just like what Obina said about buying TV. You just represent putting Obina in the center of this quadrant. Dedicating it to just Obina. What Obina said, think, does, and feel. Is that clear?
It's all right, thank you.
Okay, Gloria.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, I wanted to ask, you said it answers first question, says does, things and feels. So I want to ask, are we supposed to be asking the users what they think, or we should, from what they say, we should know what they are thinking?
Yeah, if you're in the last class, you get where I asked. You have to ask your user open-ended questions. Questions that lead to another question, right? Not for you to like understand what they are passing through. You can ask them, how do you see buying food with the mobile app? What do you think about getting a mobile app where you can order for food? Give them room for them to like, express themselves.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Kenya, sorry. Please unmute your mic, pronounce your name and ask your question.
Good evening. It's Kayla. Kayla.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted, please, could you explain more on those and things? Yeah. And the quadrants.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. So for the dolls, right? You want to like get their action and behavior when they try to like buy TV, like why do they buy it? What do they do? Like trying to like gather all the actions and behavior they carry out to buy a TV. This person said that he checks the web. So you can also get something like, I only order for food when I'm home alone. Or I only buy TV because I have a lot of money. I shop because I'm angry. That is just what they do to just buy TV or buy food. They just their action and behavior, if that explains it. You understand? Then another way you ask is think. You cannot really sometimes somebody can be thinking, like you can imagine you asking somebody a question and they're giving you like a positive response. Yeah, everything is good. So when you are working on already existing app, you just want to like get feedback. Oh, the app is really nice. But from their facial expression, know that okay, these people are not really happy using this application. That is why they don't really need to like say what they're passing through, but from your observation and feedback, be able to like, okay, this person is really frustrated buying food online. You understand? Is that clear? Kenya?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you. Kayla.
Okay, me.
Good evening. Please, I just want you to go back to that empathy mapping slide. That's all I need.
I see it. Do you have a question?
No, I just want to jot something here that I didn't see. I don't have a question. I understand it. Thank you.
Jessica, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask, and I think that is what that other guy was asking about the aggregated empathy mapping. I don't know if you can if you can go back to the slide, so I'll ask the question.
Okay. Okay, me, I have to like go, please.
I'm done. I'm done with it. You can put it off.
So what's your question, Jessica? Please, let's make
Okay.
it.
So hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
So I think what that guy was trying to say was that in this aggregated empathy mapping, he says you use different colors of sticky notes to identify a user. Let me take this that bill now, for example. This what do you think? Let me say it's for a user. Sorry, in the says, what do you think is for a user? Then under this thing, this same dark green, like wasting too much time, do you think I'm stupid? Now, can you use a particular color of sticky notes to identify a user? Let me say like now, in this says, this user said
I
one
get
thing.
your question. Don't worry. Let me just take it from there. Like I said, it's all about how you want to analyze your data. If you want to
Okay.
use red for Jessica and you want to use blue for Chiamaka, you can actually do it like that. But just bear in
Oh,
mind that aggregated empathy math is a collection of what all your users have said during your interview. Do you want to separate it? You can separate it. Do you want to like map everything? After all, you're just analyzing the data. You can actually do it depending on how best you're comfortable doing it.
okay, but if a user now thinks two things, can you put it there?
Yes, you can put it there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that'll be all. So let's continue. Is that all? And Sunday, you have a question? Please unmute your mic first and ask, please. So I don't have to come back here again. Okay, I think we are all clear. Rashidat,
Good evening, ma.
the last question for now. Yes, go ahead.
My question is like this aggregated empathy map. How can we get it if we want to use it?
I can't hear you. Speak up.
How can we get the aggregated empathy map?
How
How
can
can
you
we
get
get
it?
empathy map if we want to use it?
How you can get it? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now. So from our last class, if you're in the, yes, you're in the last class. Remember when we said something about sending out survey to potential users, interviewing potential users to gather feedback, right? Then talk about observing them, asking them open-ended questions, getting their demography, that's their age, their gender, and all that. So in a scenario that I interviewed you, interviewed Dami, interviewed Sunday, right? I'm able to write what each user said about a particular product. Let's say you're working on a fintech application. So anything that Rashida says about a fintech, you write it on the safe quadrant. What she thinks about a fintech app, you write it there. This aggregator can be overwhelming to understand. So when you have a whole lot of users that you interviewed, that is why it's either you do the one user where you have to like place each user on a quadrant, or you have to like combine everything that each of the users said on one quadrant. You understand? Exactly.
Yes, but is it like a link or a particular website to get the map?
Please speak up. We can't hear you.
Is it like there is a particular website to get the map or a link?
No, okay, you're going to be drawing it by yourself. You can also use templates, but by the end of today's class, you do the empathy mapping on Figma. Yeah?
Oh, okay, ma. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move forward. So user persona. User persona is fictional. Persona are fictional users whose goals and characteristics are represented. Those goals and characteristics represent the needs of a larger group of users. So what do I mean by fiction now? Fictional means that you're not just representing one user on your persona. It's more like a combination of different users with similar needs, frustration, and pain points. So persona helps to identify patterns. So this Juliet and John said similar things. So these people are going to be on one persona. Opeyemi and Chiamaka, they said the same thing. They're going to be like, you're just trying to like find pattern of what each segment of users said. You don't necessarily need to like represent your persona with one user. Is that clear? Okay. So as you do your research, from the research stage, you have to like, when you start analyzing, you have to like start putting like segments for which, from the empathy stage, as from the empathy map, you have to like start sessioning what users with similar pinpoint, users with similar problem, and making it into what we call persona. And I say that persona are fictional users whose characteristics, whose goals and characteristics represent the need of a larger group of users, more like a representation of your entire user. So at the end of today's class, we're also going to like build user persona. For those of us that were able to like do our research, actually saying in the last class, you can actually like find a problem and send us a survey. Because if you know that you attempted that question or take home assignment, please quickly like raise up your hand. Let me see people that did it. Okay, pay me. Only one person. Okay. Edward, please, when you go home, try and follow all the steps that we took in our last class. Send us survey questions. Okay, a lot of people did it. That's really nice. Send us survey questions, script interview questions. You can interview your friends and family just to identify their problem, so they'll be able to like follow through with the class. Okay, you can bring down your hands now. That's really nice. Well done, guys. Okay. To build empathy, you must first of all understand what your users are passing through by asking them questions, demographic questions like their age, their gender, their goal, their need, their frustration. So that you can, at the end of the day, be able to like session these users' pinpoints, frustration into different user groups. So 10 people said they wanted similar, 10 people want an app where they can actually order for food and get it delivered in 10 minutes. You session, those people will have a different persona. Then you can actually have like 3 to 8 persona, depending on how large your research is. So benefits of personas. Personas actually help to build empathy. It helps you to like understand your user and put yourself in your user's shoe. And it also gives tells a story, like who are your users, like a representation of your users, and also give stakeholders a clear representation of the problem they are trying to solve. So what do I mean by stakeholders? Stakeholders are those people that are responsible for the project. They can actually be like the data analyst, the PM, the project manager, the data analyst, the developer. Everybody that's that's involved in the outcome of the product is a stakeholder. So so here is a good representation of what a persona looks like. So you have a user, a segment of user persona. You have a user. Their demographics are between the age of 21, city, location, city, education, graduate, job title, intent, marital status, single. They also have Oliver, that's his name. Then you have his goal to become a designer and work at a prestigious fashion house. Then you have his bio, lives in a share rental accommodation, loves book, food, theater, and finer things in life. Refreshing, okay, his pinpoint, that's his frustration, refreshing his wardrobe without breaking the bank, staying at cutting edge of fashion. Then below, you also have his motivation. So from the interview, from the research that you have carried out in our last class, remember when I said that you have to start by asking them demographic questions, just like understand the age rate. Who are the people that you are designing for? What is their agenda? Where do they live? Are they in Nigeria? Are they outside the country? What goal do they like to achieve with this product they are bringing forth, or this feature they are trying to put into your product? What is their biography like? What are the challenges that they are facing? What are their pinpoints, and what motivates them to want to use your application? So that will be all about user persona. If you have any question, please quickly ask so that we can move to the next thing. But if it's clear, we'll move ahead. Can you hear me? Can I meet your microphone and ask a question?
All right, my question is that you said a persona is like kind of like the collective the collection of plenty, how will I say, like a representation of what maybe many users think of or something like that. But why is it that you named this one Oliver Jones? I don't.
So what
Do you understand what I'm saying? What do you say?
fictional user? They're just giving the user a face, not necessarily means that this whole problem, this whole need is for him alone. You just have to give
Okay.
the user a face. So I know that you're designing for like users, so user-centric. You're designing for user, but you're using just this Oliver to represent this segment of people with this problem.
Right. All right. Thank you. Now I understand. Thank you.
Emmanuel, do you have a question? Emmanuel, meet your mic and ask a question.
Okay, hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Yeah, because of network issue from my end, I've missed some parts of this today's tutorial. So I didn't understand what you mean by user personnel. And also the second question I have now is it possible that for someone to execute a digital project, is it possible that if you don't have a UI/UX designer, a developer cannot come up with a project idea and succeed in executing such projects?
Okay. So from the first question, when we are done with class, I'll walk it through. Just continue from here. Yeah.
Okay.
Then for the second question, there are a lot of templates out there that developers can actually replicate. But if you don't have a designer, it's more like you're just designing with no idea, and which is you're going to like fail roughly by the end. That is why you need like an architect. That's as a designer, somebody that has to like map out this thing for you, so that you don't have to like be designing or developing blindly.
Okay.
You understand? Even as a developer, you also need to work with a template. If you want to design your portfolio website, you go and still look for template on WordPress and replicate and edit. You understand? So that's why it's always good to have designers. Designers will have the research aspect. We help you to like know if this your product is going to like be useful. Are the elements necessary? Why this product is it going to make your business grow? You understand?
Okay. Sorry, my last question, please. I want to know, this issue of designing of a thing, can we really separate the difference between a graphic designer and a web designer? Because it looks as if their job is almost the same thing.
They're not the same thing. I gave an assignment to go and read about UI/UX design career path. Did you do your assignment, Emmanuel?
Yes, I did it.
Okay. And you still feel that at the same time?
Yes, sorry to cut you short. Under the profession of UI/UX, they didn't put graphic designer there. We just have all other professions like information designer. We have UI/UX specialist, motion designer, and things like that.
Okay.
Animation.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
For our class, then I said something about graphics, use of illustration, use of icons. If
Okay.
that last person, you know that graphics design is also part of UI/UX design. Just that these people are actually in charge of banners and logos and all that.
Logo, yeah.
So Divine, you have a question.
Yes, I do. Good evening, ma'am.
I think Divine be the last person I'll attend to before we continue.
Okay. So in this user persona, my question goes like this. The image here, must it also be like a fictional image of anybody, or it should be from the person from the group that you use to form your persona?
So if you interview me now and I give you access to use my picture to represent a whole segment of users, you can actually use it, but it's always advisable to get pictures online because you're not representing just me alone, you're representing a segment of users.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue. If you have any questions, just keep it. I'll attend to it later. So we have user story. So user story is a fictional one-sentence story told from the personal point of view to inspire and inform design decision. User story introduces your user, layout, and obstacle, and also states an ultimate goal for your research or your product. Most people, see, in most cases, most people refer to user story as scenarios and use case. So you come up when somebody actually tell you to like do scenario, they actually mean that you should do user story for them. But I'm going to walk you through how to like craft user story from the persona point of view. I will understand what persona is now. So you getting to understand what user story is will not be difficult for all of us. So we have the benefits of user story. User story prioritize design goals. If you have a lot of users need, like you have interviewed your users and there are a lot of users needs to consider, user story will help you to determine which one is important to solve. That's why you prioritize design goals, because there are a lot of problems. You can't really solve everybody's problem. If you interview 200 people, 200 of them will have different problems that they wanted to solve for them. So that is why you had to use user stories to understand the kind of problem that you want to solve. User story also unites the team around clear goal. When you, at the end of this program, you also be working on a capstone project. So this stage, now you have to like put everybody. You're going to be working with designers, developers, like a whole lot of people, depending on the number of people that you are assigned to work with. So at this stage now, you have to like give them a user story so that they'll be able to know the kind of thing that they're expecting, especially developers. In as much as design have not started, they should like have a story of the kind of problem that they want to solve. This is what the user story will help you to do. And it's actually just one sentence. User story can also inspire empathetic design decision by making our approach user-centric. All of us know what empathy is. And on your task, I talked about user-centered. User-centered means putting your user in the center of every of your decision. Anything that you design should be around them. It should not be about you. Because actually be having a problem, but users are not having that problem. If you solve that problem for yourself, it's as good as users, because a lot of people are not going to like use the product. Then I will talk about personalizing pitches to stakeholders, like putting everybody to understand. Like if you're working with a group of team, like putting everybody on the same page. This is our user. This is a problem that he's facing. This is how we can solve it. A good user story can also improve design decision by making it user-centered. User story have what we call a hero with an ultimate goal and a conflict that keeps him from reaching his goal. So you have somebody that, okay, I want to be able to I want to be able to get my food delivered on time. But his obstacle might be like the app is not working, or the delivery company don't get his location on time, or he's having problem finding the app that will help him to like get food delivered to him on time. So you have the hero and the problem that the obstacle that he's trying to like conquer. Then this is how to write a user story. You have who, what, and why. So as a type of user, who, I want to, what is action, so that why benefits. I know that's tricky, right? It's the type of user describe who you are designing for. That's the type of user who you are designing for. The action here, what, is what he or she hopes to like achieve, or what he or she hopes will happen. And the benefits, what he or she wants to happen. So using this format, who, what, and why as a type of user. So if you want to write a user story, you have to like first identify your user, the action, and their benefits. For example, as an online shopper, I want to receive a text when my item arrives so that I'll be able to pick it on time. A type of user is an online shopper. His action wants to receive a text when his goods are maybe order for an item. It's like an e-commerce site. So when his goods arrive his location, you want to get a text. Okay, your goods are here. You can come and pick it up. So they'll be able to like pick it up. Some people, their goods are already in their location, but they don't really get like a message or like an email to say, okay, you can come and pick it up. Most times they often leave it there, but they don't want to waste transport going and coming back. So you have other examples. As a dog walker, I want to trust my dog walker so I can hire them for regular dog walk. Type of user, dog walker. His action, trust my dog walker. Benefit, so that he can hire them for regular dog walks. You also have another example. As a first-time customer on an e-commerce platform, is a first-time customer on e-commerce, that's the type of user. I want to be able to create an account, action, and easily check out as a guest so that I can complete my purchase quickly and without hustle. So this action here is want to create an account and easily check out. His benefit so that he can purchase quickly without hassle. So if you have any question about user story and maybe it's not really clear, you can raise up your hand now and ask. Okay, Rashidat.
Please, I want to know if this user story is it like results from a research about what the user gave, or is it like the story that the user just gave out, like this is what like about the app that you're trying to ask of, or about the subject of the research or the matter that you want to solve? Is it like the stories from the user, like the user just gave the story that, okay, when I was using this is what I have, and I don't like this one, and this is what I want.
Okay, I get your question. You know, empathy map is to help you to understand users' needs. That's why you have to like map what different users say. Then user persona helps to like create a representative of your user. That's why you have different user segments. So after you have done mapping out, remember when I say analyzing and synthesizing our data in this defined stage, you are trying to like break all those things that users have said now into one story. It helps you to like identify the problem that you are trying to solve. If you don't really break it like that, you have a whole lot of problem that you want to. That's why you have to like say one user story that represents all whole users. You understand? So if you have like 200 data to work with, you have to like start analyzing them, breaking them into like pieces. You have mapped it out. Now you have grouped them into segments. Now inside that segment, and you're trying to like form one story to help you with your problem statement. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you, ma.
Okay. All right. So looking at now that we are done our empathy map, user persona, user stories. Now time for us to like come up with our problem statements. And I said earlier that problem statements provide clear description of the user's need that should be addressed. To read a problem statement, we're going to utilize the 5 W's framework. There are other types of other ways to draft out your problem statements. You have you have analyzed all the problem. You have given your users a representative. You have told the story. Now it's for you to like come up with a clear and a clear problem that you're trying to solve so that it's be known for both you and your stakeholder, people that you're working with. But for this class, since you're beginners, you're going to just be working with the 5W so that it'll be easier for us to understand. But in your own time, you can also read about opportunity statements, directional statements, and clarity problem statement. Yeah. So the 5Ws has to do with who, what, where, when, why, and how. So these 5Ws and H. So who is experiencing the problem? Knowing your users and their background is key to creating a successful solution for them. What are the pain points you are trying to solve? Determining your users' pain point early and allows you to answer the rest of this question and clarify the context of the pain points. Then you have why. Why is the problem important? Knowing how this problem affects users' experience and life will help to clarify the potential consequences. Sorry. Then you have the how. How are users reaching their goal by using this product? So in order for you to craft that a clear problem statement, able to understand your users by using this 5W and 1H framework, which is the who, what, where, when, and why, then how. Who is facing the problem? Why are they facing the problem? Where are they facing the problem? When did they encounter this problem? Why do they need this problem to be addressed? Okay. Does anyone have any question about problem statements? Any question? Okay, you don't have any. So a good example, students struggle to find reliable and affordable study resources, particularly during exam period, both online and in the traditional libraries. This leads to increased stress, wasted time, and frustration, as they often end up relying on unreliable resources to spend excessive time searching. So can anybody tell me, can anybody break this problem statement into who, why, what, where, and how for me? If you can, just one person. I think everybody understood what I was trying to explain earlier. Anyone? If you're paying me, you can unmute your mic and
All right, I just want to try. Okay, from this problem statement, I can say that the who is the student are the students. Can you hear me?
yes, go ahead.
All right, the who are the students, and what is that they are finding it, they are struggling to find reliable and affordable study resources, and where is during their exam period, and I think when too is both online and in traditional libraries. I think that should be where too. Then okay, let me read it again. This leads to increased stress. That should be the how, like how is it giving them issue? I think that is the increased stress, wasted time, and frustration is how. I think that's what I can say. I'm not. I think that's what I can say, and that person can give out too.
Right, thank you so much for that. Any other person? Okay, Jessica.
Okay, so who are the students? Then what is their struggle to find affordable study resources? Then when is during exam period, where is both in online and traditional libraries? Increase stress, wasted time, and frustration. That is what I can say.
You actually got it. Well done. Rashidat,
Thank you.
so that'll be the last person. You can unmute and attempt.
Okay. So for the who, 5W, we have who, what,
Can't hear you.
where. Oh, sorry. Okay, I was saying that we have 5W and 1H. The first one who is representing the students, they are the user. And what is the problem is that they are struggling to find reliable and affordable resources. Then when is during the exam period, that's when they have that issue. And both online and traditional libraries is the where, the location, and the how it will help them. Okay, this leads to increase stress and increase stress time and
Rashidat, we're not
frustration.
hearing you. Just start again, please, so that just speak up, please, so that everybody can hear you.
Okay, I said the students are the user, they are the who. Then the struggle to find reliable and affordable study resources is problem. That's what they are facing, their pain points. Then the particularly during exam period is the time, the when they face the problem most. Then both online and traditional libraries is the where they want the resources to be available to them. Then the how, who, what, when, where, how. The how is how the problem is affecting them. It leads to increase stress, time, and frustration. And they often end up relying. Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'll just quickly break it down for us. Students struggling to find reliable and affordable study resources. It's our who, the type of users we are designing for, right? What, particularly during the exam period. When? Okay. What? Sorry, difficulties. What did I say? Students struggle to find reliable and affordable resources. Is our who. Okay. When, particularly during exam period, where both online and traditional libraries. Why? Leads to increased stress and wasted time and frustration. Then how they now end up relying on unreliable source to spend excessive time searching. Is that clear? All right. Okay, bear me.
Can you go over it once again, please? Thank you.
Okay. Students, they are our who struggle to find reliable and affordable study resource is what? When, particularly during exam period, where both online and in traditional library. Why? This leads to increased stress, wasted time, and frustration. How? Then that often they end up relying on unreliable resource to spend excessive time searching. Do you understand? Students is our who. Their difficulty is why. Their struggle is why. When it's during their exam, where it's online or in traditional library. Why? This actually leads to their stress, wasted time, and frustration. How? This will not make them to start looking for unreliable resource or spend excessive time searching. Exactly.
Yes, it is. But my question is that in every problem statement, do these 5 W's and 1 H, do they have to follow each other like that? Like that order of who, what, when, where, why, and how? Do they have to like follow that order?
Not necessarily, but you just have to like identify the problem that he's facing. How do you want to solve it? Just like putting all the data that you have collected, putting the user in the center of it. You can actually put the who last, but it's always good to put your user first. That's why you go ask. There's a formula here. Coming. The type of user comes first. That's why you have to ask about these demographic questions. Who are you designing for? Then you cannot proceed from there. Exactly. Can you hear me? Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get ready. We are going to FigJam right now to design our empathy map and user persona. Before we move to FigJam, if you have any questions so far and ask related to this defined stage, you can ask now. But if it's not relating to define stage, please can leave it after the end of the class and ask your question. No question. All right. Please confirm that you can hear me in the chat, please. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to be using the desktop view today. So we'll go to our FigJam board here. We all know how to create our FigJam and open our FigJam board from our Figma from the last class. If you don't know how to do it, you can ask me now, so I will show you. Okay, Divine.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. You can show me now.
Okay. So once you land on your dashboard, this is what your dashboard is doing, your user dashboard. You have plus design file. This one will take you to Figma file. Then we have plus FigJam board. This one will take you to FigJam. For now, we're working with FigJam. When we start designing, we move to Figma file. Exactly.
Well, I'm not seeing what you're saying.
Can you see my screen?
You've not shared your screen, man.
Oh, so sorry. I'll stop sharing and share again. Can you see my screen now?
All right. Yeah, I can see it.
So this is your user dashboard, Figma user dashboard. So on top, you will see design file and FigJam file, and also import. So for now, since we're still like analyzing our data, we're going to make use of FigJam board. When we start designing fully, we move to Figma. So when you click on this plus Figma board, it will take you to FigJam, sorry.
So we have to open our Figma now.
Don't worry, just learn. You can practice at home. If everybody open, we will not finish this class today. Yeah? If you have a
Yeah,
question.
okay. I've heard you. Thank you.
So from the last class, I walked us through how the FeedJam interface is structured. I believe we know how the tools are being laid here. Well, with time, well, if you're not familiar, you get familiar over practice and all that. Will I take this now? Okay, it's fine. So we'll start by the empathy mapping. Just to be sure that we're on the same page, because you will always have tasks for every topic. Please, can somebody just tell me what they understand by empathy mapping again, please? I would like us to be on the same page. Okay, see that. Can unmute your mic and speak now.
Okay, so empathy map is where the analyzer of your research results from your users, what the user says, what the user does, what the user thinks, and what the user feels is being analyzed on the empathy map to make it easy to understand the information that is gotten from the user.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Since we are beginners, right, I'm not going to be showing us how to use templates. So we'll start by doing the rough sketch first, then I can now show you how to use templates to do it. If you want to do your so let's name our file. Yeah. So if you want to start your empathy mapping, you know that it's a 4-square quadrant and contains what your users say, think, does, and feel. It can either be a positive response or a negative response. I'm going to take out the line too. For now, in a while. Okay. So I'm just going to draw this here, right? So we have a quadrant now. Okay, Control Z. So I just use my line to just draw like a quadrant. So we're going to put our say here, does here, think and feel. So I'm going to take my pen tool and write stays. So first we'll start by doing one user empathy map. Then we'll put our does. Yeah. If you don't understand anything I'm doing, please ask. It's better to get it now. Then we'll put our think here. Then also put our feel here. So when you are done drawing your quadrants now, so let's say we are just going to be doing a lot of assumption here since nobody did their research. So on the same quadrant, I'm going to pick a sticky note. So we are focusing on one user. Let's see if I can extend this. You all can see my screen, right? Please on the chart, indicate that you can see my chart. My screen, sorry. Yeah. So let's work, since I love music, let's just work with music. So I can just say that maybe I interviewed Dami, and Dami says that I don't know what to say. So maybe Dami will say, I love how easy it is to create a playlist. That is what she said. Maybe I'm telling her about maybe music app. Just bearing in mind that everything that your user says should be in quotation is always, it is because it's not your saying, the user saying. Yeah, so we're just working with one user quadrant. Let me just reduce this a bit. So I'm just going to like duplicate it, Control D. I'm going to put those quadrants. You can say impatiently, maybe let me say impatiently skips through recommended dead songs. This is what she does. Then we can, let me also duplicate. You can just change the color if you want. So you can come here and change the color. Depending on how you want your empathy map to look. Maybe you just want to use different color for what they say, think, to feel. Then Control D to duplicate in case anybody's wondering what I'm doing. So for think, say this interface is confusing. Interface is confusing. Please always remember to put this in a quotation, please. Then we now go with Fuse. Maybe she's frustrated or sorry, struggling to find find struggling to find new music. So let me say, this is just like an assumption of my interview with Dami. Okay, Opemi, I have a question.
No, I wasn't getting that whole thing before, but I'm getting it now. Thank you.
Yeah. So here, because you are designing for users, and we are going to put a user, a representation of Dami's picture here. We're going to take a shape. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to scale down this a little. It's looking funny. I'm going to put it here. Okay, it's covering our text. I'm just going to bring our text down a bit. These things are actually easy done with templates just because we are beginners so that we're able to like understand the gist from the beginning. They're just templates that you can actually replicate and just work with and edit. So here now we're going to put our user here. It can just be dummies image since it's just one user persona that we are designing. Image. So we are done with one user empathy map. Sorry, I'm calling it persona. Are we clear? We're on the same page. Any question? Okay, no questions. Okay, Ike, can I ask a question?
Okay, thank you. I was locked out for a very long time, so I just found my way in again. I I wanted to know, is this a Figma environment or the Fig Jam? I don't know. Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear. Okay, I just heard you now. Hello?
So this is a Fig Jam file. Ike, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, Fig Jam. Oh,
So let's go and do the aggregated empathy map. Okay, this have a question. If you don't have a question, please bring down your hand. Vincent.
Okay, ma, please, on example of on how to buy a television on your first slide. Now, here, let's demonstrate on how to buy something like a refrigerator. Thank you.
Do you have users feedback?
Yeah. I don't have, I think we should put our heads together.
Inside this class now, Vincent.
We
Eh?
didn't, we did not really prepare for it. We didn't.
That's why I wanted these people to do your research before today's class. So when you go home, you try that one out. Yeah? But if we start gathering everybody's response inside this class now, we'll not finish today. But do you understand the gist? If you want me to like go over aggregated empathy map again, I can repeat it so that you'll be able to like practice at home. But to start mapping out different response here, it's going to take our time. We have a whole lot to cover. Is that clear?
It's okay. It's okay, ma'am.
Okay. So we're on the same page. Please, we're on the same page, just write on the chat. Yes. All right. Okay, Gift, you want me to go over it again? What do you want me to repeat again? All right. And okay, Ecom. Ecom, we have a question. Can I meet and ask, please?
hello? Hello, could you-
You're in a noisy. Type your message on the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. So for aggregated empathy map, I say that is a representation of everything you find out about what your user says. So you're going to like put everything on one empathy map, just represent a whole user segment. So we're going to like do it this way, so we're able to like understand. It's actually funny. Okay, before we move forward, let's just add an image here for our user, Dami. So to add an image on FigJam, you have to use plugin to do that. So plugins are softwares that actually help your work to be easier on Figma. So you have icon plugins, image plugins, anything that you want at all. You can actually find them on Figma community or FigJam community. So I'm going to left click. You see where you have plugin, right? So you have to go to manage plugin. And maybe we are going to use it, we are going to be using Unsplash. So the name of the plugin is Unsplash. Splash, yeah. The way you can get beautiful images for your empathy map or pinpoint. So I'm going to, you first just click on run, automatically it appears on your plugins, but I already have it, so I don't need to like install it again. So I'm just going to left click, go to my plugin and so let's say a lady. Once you see, so let's use this fine lady here. Just to represent what Sammy said. You understand? So we are done with one user empathy map. So for aggregated, we're going to like put everything our user said, think. So if we have 10 users, so on the cell quadrant, we have 10 sticky notes representing what the 10 of them said. Depending on the one that you're comfortable with, if you interview 20 people, you want to do one empathy map for them, you can do that. But if you want to just use one empathy map to represent all of them, make sure that if you interview 6 users, you'll be able to write what the 6 of them say, what they do, what they think, and how they feel. Yeah. So this is how to do it manually. So I'll just move over here. Okay. That's fine. So I'll just move line, it's not straight. So just move over here. So we're going to look for user persona template on our community. So when you go to this plus icon here, be able to find stickers, templates, widgets, plugins, etc. You can also find your own Slash plugin from here. So we're going to search for empathy map. That's what I will find. Okay, I'm not sure I'll be able to find here. Okay, since we cannot find the another place to go to your Figma community team. You see this home icon over here. Once you click on it, you scroll down, you see this word icon, see explore community. Then you can now search for anything you want. So let's say empathy map. And let's search. So we have this one. So you can just open it. Once you click on open, you can actually use this template. So let's click on open. So anything that you want, like a template or anything at all, you can always go to your Figma community or you use so we're going to copy it and put it back on our FigJam board. Paste here. Now we have a beautiful quadrant. What you had to do now, you had to start taking sticky notes to place on what they say, think like that. This one is actually very easy to do. Are we clear? Please, I need one person to, okay. Okay, we have a question.
No, I'm not clear though. I'm not clear. I'm lost already.
All right. From where?
Is this Fijam thing? That is this where I got the part where you went to the community, but I don't get to understand the remaining.
Okay, let me say that you want to do your work fast, right? Angel, is it the same question that you want to ask? Hold
No,
on.
ma.
Okay, just
No,
hold
ma.
on.
It's not the same section.
Hold on there.
Okay.
So because we're beginners, you can actually like start by understanding your feed jam too. That is why I did it like this. But if you know your feed jam very well and you want to work fast, it's a tight deadline, you can always go to Figma community by clicking here, going down, then you get a template that you can work with. Instead of drawing it from beginning. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Angel.
Good evening, ma.
Evening.
Okay. Ma, what is some stick note is blue. The other one is light green. I don't know why.
Okay,
Thank you, ma.
You know what a sticky note is now? It has a lot of colors. So when you bring out one, you can play around with the color that you want. Here.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
Depending on what you want, depending on how you want to present your empathy, what your users are saying. Oluwa Damilola.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Ma, I
evening.
want to ask that the picture, the user's picture, can we use any picture or the user's picture?
Please, before you use any picture, make sure that does not have bookmark. Is that what you call it? Watermark, sorry. Watermark. And if you want to use my picture, I should give you permission before you use my picture. But
Okay.
Splash, pictures there are free. You can use them with anybody like suing you or harassing you. You understand? Before you use anybody's picture, please go and tell them. Don't just use anybody's picture on your design.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. I think that'll be all for now. Okay. If you have a question.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you. I was going to ask where exactly did you click to get the sticky note?
Okay. Can you see my cursor? Can you see my cursor?
Yeah, yes.
Once I hover on this paper here, you can see.
Okay.
If I want shape, click on the shape and bring out.
Okay.
So just on your free time, just try exploring the picture.
All right.
I think we'll continue, then we'll attend to other questions at the end of the class.
Thank you.
Thank God. Okay. So that will be all about empathy mapping. So we know how to like carry out aggregated and user empathy mapping. So moving forward, we will try using our hands to do user persona. Then before we'll now try templates too. So user persona, can you tell me what they understand by user persona, please? Just one person. Damilola, you want to answer? You can unmute your mic and answer now. Okay, that is not here. Uchenna.
Yes,
Please speak up, we can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, user persona is the presentation of the entire user code, the characteristics.
Please, Uche, we can't hear you, please.
Yes, can you hear me now?
I hear you, go ahead.
Yes, user persona is entirely the user characteristics and that builds the brand empathy and the storytelling. It's just like telling you about the person
you are trying the user, the information that you are getting about the user, the picture, the names, and every other thing, the demographic, and the questions that you need to ask about users.
So to our empathy mapping, so I'm going to make this one fast. So I'm just going to take the session here. You guys know how to get the session now. If you can see my screen, it indicates here. So the user persona, fictional user that represents our whole user segment. A fictional representation of our user segment, sorry. So we're going to have the user image, a fictional image representing our user. So we're going to like put an image here. So I'll just take the shape tool, this one like this. Yeah. So here will contain image of our user representative, yeah. User image. Then we're going to also have this is a manual way of doing it. You can always use templates to work faster. It's just a template, it must not be like my own. You can have his bio here. I think I'll just represent this in a different way. Then you can have his needs. Let's say his demography here. Demography. Then we can have his bio here from what we have on the. Let me just take this. It's actually looking very funny. Then we can have his needs here. Needs. And also have his let me say frustration. Frustration here. Then we can have his motivation. Yeah. In our class, if you have a question, please just hold on. I'll attend to your question later. Please remember to ask me your question. Let's finish this one. Yeah. So I have everything I need for my user persona. So let's just add image so that it will be fine. So let's say you're using a guy now. So you're using Obina, a man. Or a man there. So let's just use this man here. Hope this one will fit in perfectly well. Okay, this one is not doing the work. Okay, this is okay. Then his demo. So I'm going to add his let me just put this in the center. I'm going to increase this a little bit so that it will be big for everybody to see. Let me say medium. Let's say large. And we're going to put his age here. So name first. Let's go with his name. Name. Obinna. Easy. Not really. Let's align this. This is actually very funny. Okay, so let's put his age here. So let's say he's 32. And also put his occupation. Occupation. Let's say product designer. Are you guys following? On the chat. Are we following? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Then we can also put his what else can we put? Maybe country, depending on the kind of question that you're asking your potential users. Let's say Nigeria. So you'll be able to get his demographic information, his name, age, occupation, country, gender, and all that. So you can say his bio. Let me look for his bio. Maybe Ebina is 32 years old in Nigeria who wants to be able to, or who likes listening to music. Everything, just everything upon side, the user's biography. So it can be actually gotten from the demo. So his name is Obina, he's 2 years, occupation designer, maybe his hobby, the kind of thing he likes doing. So you can actually write that in his biography. Then his needs. So still focusing on the music from the persona. We know we're actually working with music. So I love music. Everybody loves music. So we actually like his needs. He wants to discover music easily. Maybe, I don't know, seamless music streaming. Yes, let's use that one. Okay, I'm going to make this big soon. Please remember, this is a manual way of doing things. Please don't do it like this for me. I will sue that person. You do it like this, the one I'm doing it in this class. Seamless music streaming. Yeah. So maybe this is just it. You can have like Obina can have like, you know, it's like a personal representation of user segments. There can be like 10 needs here, 20 needs, but just know that you're just like categorizing users with similar needs and pain points together to just form one persona. I'm going to reduce this. Yeah. Then you can go down and put his frustration. Wonder what his frustration is. Difficulty is finding new music. I always write that there. Sorry. Let's make this better. Finding new music. Then here we have motivation. What is his motivation? Motivation. Motivation, frustration, needs. So just remember, since it's a user segment that you're representing, you can have like 20 needs. You can have like 10 needs. You can have like 10 frustration, plenty for motivation. Why Obina wants is a music streaming application. So is that clear? Are we clear? Please, if you're clear, just chat on the chat, Claire. Yeah, so if you have a question now, you can ask before we do the template way of doing things. I'm not seeing any hand. Okay. Ike, Uchenna. Oh, sorry, Ike, you can ask the question now. If you can hear me, unmute your mic and ask.
Okay, sorry. I said, thank you. I said I'll take my time to navigate the FigJam environment quite all right, but this demo needs frustration while feeling this personal. Will you take it off the need, the frustration, the motivation? Will you take off the motivation and just know you're feeling it for motivation, or you leave them like that and just feel below?
Sorry,
I don't know.
again.
Okay, like you wrote demo, and under demo you said you wrote stops, and then under frustration you wrote difficulty finding music. Can you just write difficulty finding music and like leave the frustration out, or the frustration has to be there?
You have to
Likewise,
you have to like
sorry?
you have to put the head in frustration. You list all your users'
Okay.
frustration. You list their needs, what they want the app to do. You need their motivation. Like, for example, the music is my source of relaxation and enjoyment. That is why they need the music streaming app.
Okay.
Understand? Sunday, have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, so I'm saying, will you delete this motivation? Okay, you leave the headings like that.
Exactly. If you don't
Okay,
even
okay,
understand,
thank
not
you.
be able to understand. Even your stakeholder will not be able to understand. Okay, this is the need.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, thank you.
Okay, let's use the template and see, actually check templates online. Okay, maybe we'll go back to our Figma community and we'll search for user persona. You see a whole lot, so you just have to like pick the one that you want to use. So let's check this one. Which one are we going to work with? Let me just work with this one. That one is somehow. Let's do something basic for now. Okay, let's work with this. So here, if you're looking at my screen, there are a lot of templates out there that you can use, but it's always good to like try it out by yourself. Try so that you'll be able to understand how FitJam works. But if you want to work fast, you can always work with templates in order for you to like work fast. So once you click on open on Figma, you'll be able to like edit this template to suit the kind of users that you're interviewing or the kind of data that you have gathered from your user. We have other questions here. Okay, Uchenna.
Yes, my question is on this picture aspect. If you are inserting a picture and it doesn't have a watermark, won't it work? Because I'm trying to insert it to just load a little, like 10%, it won't come into the picture. Is it because of the watermark or what?
No. Watermark is not affecting your picture. It's just that if you're using picture that is watermarked, that means that picture is actually not free. It's for people. You don't just use people's image anyhow. So that's always good for you to like use any. You can actually use watermark picture, but if they catch you, you have to like explain why you're using their image. You understand?
Yes. So my own problem now, is it because of the network? Is it the network that is allowing me not to transfer the picture, or I don't know what's going to just load like template? It won't come into the place I take.
Joshua, please, if I'm murdering your name, I'm sorry.
Is Yusra, not Yusra.
Sure. You have a question?
Yes, good evening. So about the user persona, if I have like about 100 results from my interview, so what's the minimum user persona I'm going to come up with? Is it just like does it have a particular amount I'm going to come up with? And again, another question, under motivations, what type of questions are we going to ask in the interview to be able to generate motivations? Is it under will I say fuse under empathy map and things under empathy map? I don't know if you understand my question.
Okay, I think I understand your question. So during your interview, it's always good to ask open-ended questions. From your demo, you start by asking them their age, all those details. Now, maybe ask them if they love to use a music streaming app. Also ask them what is their motivation for using, why do they like using a streaming app? You might be able to tell you that the music is like my therapy. Buying food is more like way of spending my money, depending on the kind of. You just have to like ask them all the questions as that you can ask your users. Exactly.
Thank you. Then the first question I asked.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
I said after conducting your interview and you get like a minimum of 100 results. So for your user persona, does it have a minimum amount of persona you can generate from that result, or just one? I just want to understand.
Actually, to 3 to 8. 3 to 8 is fine, but you can do more than, but it's going to be overwhelming for you. You understand? So you can just like session them into like 3 to 8 personas, which is fair. You understand? But sometimes you might not really get up to that. Most people are just having the same or similar problems. You can just categorize them into like different user persona.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question? All right. So we'll be stopping here for tonight. So enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend. Please always check the announcement channel for updates and all that. And also check your elements and make sure you do your tasks on time before the due date. And if you have any question, please feel free to reach out on the chat, and see you guys on Wednesday.